What is up, my Lorcana Goons? Welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin. You're watching the Monday Market Watch today. It is April 15th, and this is the beginning of the very exciting set championship weekend that we have going on. This is the beginning of the official prize cards organized play. We're gonna start seeing prize cards starting this week. I believe as early as Thursday is when there's gonna be set champs. I think on the 18th is when it officially starts, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna start seeing these Rockstar Stitch Enchanted promos on the market. I want to say by Thursday evening, afternoon, depending on your time zone. Friday morning, you might be able to start placing bids on these. We're going to do the Friday market watch as well, obviously, to see what these are going to be priced at, either on TCG Player or at eBay. But I want to just throw my opinion out there. If you are a collector, even if you don't play the game, I suggest you head on down to your local game store, play in the tournament, have some fun. But if you really do want to buy this card in person, you can make some offers to the winners right then and there. Maybe get a good deal on it if you're really just trying to pay for this card. And you can even look at the card in person instead of buying it online and having to wait for it to get to your house. So if you are someone who's collecting enchanted rares, you're gonna probably want this Rockstar Stitch in your arsenal. The only way you can get it is gonna be by getting top 4 in your set championship tournament. I am signed up for about 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken, and within the next 2 weeks there's going to be several tournaments to win these, and some of them are as small as 24 players capped, and some of them are as big as 100 players. So it's getting real, man. These are going to be some competitive tournaments to win this Stitch right here, alongside some other goodies in your tournament, depending on the tournament you're playing. But you could win this Stitch or the prize mat if you end up in top 2, and first place gets an exclusive prize mat that says champion on it. So check that out. There's even some cool events happening, like this one shared by Lorcana Player. So if you're in the area of Mansfield Road, or where the Dice Cup is, check that out in UK. You can get your card signed by Matthew Robert Davies, who is the artist for the Enchanted Elsa Spirit of Winter that we all love to talk about on the market watch. You already know we go over the Elsa every single market watch, and we take about like 10 minutes in the beginning of the market watch to talk about it and whatnot. But hey, if you have one of those and you're in the UK, you can go to this set championship. You can play for this Rockstar Stitch, and let's say you scrub out, you go 0-2 drop like I do sometimes. You can take your Enchanted Elsa and you can get it signed, and then you can maybe even get it graded after you get it signed, and then there you go, Elsa stonks. You have that in your arsenal as a collector. I think these events are really cool. There's tons of set championship events, so I suggest you also check online, check Melee GG, use your local resource tools to find out where there's a set champs tournament near you, and you never know what you're gonna find. So shout out Lorcana Player on Twitter for sharing this out for the people. We really do appreciate that. But check this out, guys. On the Discord, we have Asian letting us know, that's his name on Discord, by the way. I think Alex is renamed, right? He played in our tournament as well. He got first place at the Key to Tournament. Alex, he let us know that one of our local game stores is having a restock alert. We see the first chapter right here. We've been seeing it in the rumors. I read all the comments. We did talk about the rumors last week that stores that are participating in the set championship tournaments are going to be getting restocks of the first chapter. I've been hearing it too. We said it last time on the market watch. A bunch of comments were also confirming this, saying that they know LGS locations, etc. Now I'm starting to see it on the local level. Restocks coming of the first chapter is what it's looking like, and I don't even think this locals is doing a set championship, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be more than just the stores, the local game stores that are participating in the set champs that get restocks. Zach Stone was even talking about how, like, if you're just someone who knows a distributor, you're probably going to have access to getting restocks as well. So remember, keep this in mind when we're looking at these prices, like these card stonks, because we've seen what happens in Lorcana when they reprint cards, especially the first chapter. Last time they reprinted the first chapter, Elsa went from $1,000 all the way to $350. So keep that in mind, and as always, bless your pools if you do decide to buy some booster boxes, because the booster box prices are starting to come down a little bit. If you want to check out these pre-orders, some of them have been selling for a little bit less than MSRP, about like $140 to $129 right there. But this is Ursula's return. This is set 4 coming out May 31st on the big box retail release date. So this set actually comes out the weekend before the weekend of Atlanta. That's going to be the Lorcana Challenge weekend that we're going to. So if you're going to go to that event, say what's up, come say hi. But yeah, so this set's not going to be legal for that tournament, but it comes out that weekend, and you can place your pre-orders now. It's going to be at MSRP, but remember, there's plenty of other options in terms of like whether or not you want to wait to pay for this after it comes out instead of paying the pre-order pricing, because usually the prices go down, as you can see from Into the Inklands. This is the current set available to us in Lorcana. This is Into the Inklands, selling for way below MSRP, still at $115 is the lowest listing. So you don't want to maybe pay the pre-order pricing if this is the same thing that's going to happen to Ursula's Return, but for whatever reason, if you do want to pay for that pricing, then by all means go for it. Check out the Rise of the Floodborn boxes, bouncing off MSRP, now selling for $136 unopened by GGNSL for the lowest verified. So this is the second box of Lorcana, the second set. You can pull some cool cards in this set, like the Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, the Snow White Enchanted Rare, and some other cool Enchanted Rares that we are going to look at later in this video that have been going up in price. And the first chapter booster box coming down in price significantly. Check that out. They had like a huge peak at a little bit over $300 a couple weeks ago. We saw that they were selling for around $320 to $350 for like a couple days or so, and they just kind of started coming down. More sales happening in that $270-ish range, less than $300 for sure. A lot of sales actually happening over the weekend from the 12th to the 15th at $278, $275. A bunch of them getting listed and just immediately sold for that low. Less than $300. I mean, if you're trying to play the Elsa lottery, and see some of these even cheaper, $240, $241, $239. Those are actually really cheap. That's not bad to play the Enchanted lottery when you can pull an Elsa, a Belle, a Tinkerbell, and a couple other Enchanteds we're also going to go over later on in the video, because we are not starting with the Enchanteds this time, my goons. We're going to go over the meta cards that I want to talk about, because like I said, set champs is this weekend and I gotta stay focused on the meta game, so I want to talk about them first a little bit this time, because these are cards that you're definitely going to see your opponent playing, or if you have them in your trade binder, take them to your locals. You're going to see people scrambling around looking for their fourth beast, their fourth Robin Hood. They're going to be looking for random cards like Pride Lands and a couple other cards we're going to get into today. So if you have the Beast Tragic Hero Sad Beast, he is still pretty expensive, especially during this week of competition. $60 is what you're going to have to pay if you want to buy it at your local game store for the tournament. You're going to have to pay about $60, win fast TCG. After that, the next verified seller also has it for around $60 as well by Razor Rips. And if you're someone who wants a shiny deck, you can get a cold foil for $94.97 right there. Check that out. Next up, we have Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, also very impactful and important in this steel matchup. Kind of picking back up in price, but bouncing off that $40 mark. You can get some near mints online for $38 to $40, but if you buy them online, remember, it's going to take 2 weeks to get to your house, possibly, so I don't think you'll have it by this weekend, maybe next weekend, but they are about $40. If people go by this pricing, you're going to have to pay close to $40 for your Robin Hoods. If you can pay less than that, I think that's a great deal. If you want cold foils, they're still $51, so that's not bad either. Maleficent Monsters Dragon, you're going to see this card a lot because Ruby Sapphire actually took first place in the online 10K tournament that happened this weekend, hosted by Tail Beastie and the Pack. If you guys haven't seen that tournament, I am working on a video for that. I just have not had much time to really focus on that, but we're getting that video done if you want to look at it on the channel. But if you want to check it out on Twitch, on YouTube, Tail Beastie has plenty of videos on it on her channel. I will put the link in the description below. But that tournament, very impactful, super huge, 300 plus players online playing Pixelborn, and Ruby Sapphire takes first place. Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, shout out Impact TCG on Twitter, man. He straight up quoted me and was like, yeah man, this card is timeless. And I say it every time, the way this card works in Lorcana is just so impactful and important, especially in a deck like Ruby Sapphire. We can see the cold foils still being expensive, with the non-foils not being as expensive as they were a week ago, and they were almost $50. Lowest verified today is now $42 by GGNSL. The cold foils though still selling for almost, actually more than $100. Look at that, lowest verified today is now Unique Emporium, $112. Check that out. Couple sales today happening for $110, $108. Wow, now it's actually really selling for more than $100. All these for $90, $198. They all sold over the weekend. weekend. I'm pretty sure the hype of the Ruby Sapphire winning got some sales going in for them. Bell Strange but Special is now a $25+ legendary. 2650 low is verified by GGNSL. The cold foils, only 7 listings left. Now they're $61 by Oak Cliff Collectors. That is wild. $61 for the cold foil Bell Strange but Special. Ursula Deceiver of All. There's a lot of emerald in the format. Emerald Amethyst, Emerald Steel. Both those decks are very, very powerful, and both those decks can capitalize on playing this new Ursula Deceiver of All. This card is really impactful in the meta right now. Lets you sing songs twice. Lowest verified is going to be a $31 team for Mewtwo right here. Team Mewtwo right here. Lowest verified is what it's going to have it listed at. And if you want a cold foil for this card, which I highly recommend cold foils, you know, $40. Wow, only a couple bucks more for the $40 for the cold foil. That's Ursula Deceiver of All. Which, by the way, remember this card is errated and all that. It's supposed to be a Dreamborn, but it was printed as a Storyborn. So if you like cold foil legendaries, that's really cool. We're seeing all this news about restocks. Maybe they might get some Inklands reprints where they reprint this in its actual Dreamborn, and then the cold foils are gonna, you know, do some dances for us. I think at that point, if but anyways, cold foils. $40 for the Ursula Deceiver of All right there. Rapunzel Gifted with Healing, another meta impactful card, now selling for about $36, going up a little bit this last week or so. We've been seeing Amber Steel make a huge impact in the meta, especially off of these online tournaments or these 1Ks that players like Brennan DeCandio keep topping and winning and whatnot. So anyways, cold foils today selling for $90 right here, lowest verified, and then $80 as well. 2 of them selling for that price, and then lowest verified for a non-foil is going to be by GGNSL for the Rapunzel. $36 for Rapunzel Gifted with Healing if you want to play that in your deck. And the cold foils are now $82 with $5 shipping, so almost $90. That's about $87. If you're buying this online, you're for sure paying $90 because of the shipping. Broken Mon to go $82.33 with $5 shipping, about $87 for the Rapunzel cold foil Gifted with Healing. These are going up. That's wild. Scarvicious Cheater. We saw people playing this in Ruby Amethyst. So if you're playing your set championships, remember Ruby Amethyst players might be playing this against you. Remember to try to play around it, I guess, because they're not just playing Be Prepared anymore. So today, if you want to buy a Scar for your Ruby Amethyst, though, you're gonna have to pay closer to $10 for a near mint. Lowest verified is now by Swamp Games for $9.99. This Scar going up in price, being played in Ruby Amethyst. I feel it. I like it in Ruby Amethyst too. I've been testing it out, and it's actually really good. You play 4 of these and Be Prepared. I mean, sorry, do you play 4 Be Prep and 2 of these? I don't know the ratios, but the point is though that this is now a $10 rare. The cold foils are gonna be around $20 by Discollect. So Scar Vicious Cheater, pretty good card. Mufasa. This card, well, actually made it in this deck. Mufasa, Ruby Ruby Amber actually made it in top 16. Shout out the player. I totally forgot his name, but shout out you, my guy, for getting top 16 with the Mufasa Amber deck. I think the Amber Ruby deck is pretty powerful. A very strong character-based tempo deck, and I feel like it has its place in the meta. So I do feel like this card might start seeing some sales movement after this weekend. $12 is if you want to buy that today, maybe play it for your set championship. $25 is going to be the lowest verified for the cold foil by Slow Your Roll. Elsa, Spirit of Winter. The non-foil is still $11.75 lowest verified, but the cold foils, let's check them out. $57 for the cold foil, lowest verified by Unique Emporium for the cold foil Elsa, Spirit of Winter. Speaking of Elsa, I want to talk about this promo Elsa that keeps on making waves. Check this out, my goons, just climbing and climbing and climbing in price. We have a confirmed sale yesterday for the Elsa Gloves Off alternate art from the D100 gift set promo. This is not an enchanted rare, it's more of just like an alternate art. It's a promo that we got from the set 2 gift set, and now we have a confirmed sale yesterday for $25. They were selling for $15, $20-ish consistently in the last couple of days, and we've been talking about it on the Market Watch because we've been seeing those sales happen. Today there's only 7 listings. Lowest verified is now $29, and the lowest non-verified is going to be $25 with the $125 shipping. So somebody actually did pay $25, and now a lowest is going to be $25 or $30 basically if you want to go through a verified seller for the Elsa Gloves Off promo. I don't know, what do you guys think about these D100 promos going up in price? Were you guys waiting? Did you guys expect this? I did not expect this. I thought these were going to be more like the league promos and kind of just sit at like a pretty small price. And, you know, for the most part, it looks like there's a decent amount of gift sets that you can still find on the secondary market for the for set 2. But I mean, if these go up in price, then people are going to start buying those gift sets up too, which is kind of cool. But, you know, then it's obviously going to add more to the market and blah, blah, blah. Whole New World decks are extremely polarizing. If you're playing Amber Steel Wheel, just know you have a special place in my heart because that deck makes me so frustrated sometimes. Playing against that deck is insane. It's such a great deck. No wonder the card is $15 for the non-foil, maybe even $16 if you want to really charge people that much. So those verified Orion's Card Mart for $15.50 with $1.25 shipping. Yeah, like a $16 card. And the cold foils are still listed at $30, lowest verified by the Dojo for $30.52 with $2.50 shipping. A little bit more than 30 bucks for a Whole New World cold foil. Awesome card. It's just basically what drives the Amber Steel deck, either the one with Lanterns or the one with Pride Lands. And you could probably play this, I mean, you're probably playing this also in Sapphire Steel more than likely because you're abusing it with Fishbone Quill. And the other deck that plays this is going to be Amethyst Steel. So all of those color combinations usually play Whole New World. Some people are not playing it in those color combinations, obviously, but that's usually where you see the Whole New World being its most impactful. Even sometimes an Emerald Steel too, which is kind of crazy. Be Prepared. Awesome card. I hate it sometimes. I feel like I never resolve this card. They always snipe it out of my hand with Ursula, or I get it. People use Bare Necessities on this card, or whenever I have it in my hand, they have Whole New World, and then I never draw it again after their first Whole New World. This card is so good though. When it actually goes off, it's like a game-ending card. No wonder the lowest verified is going to be by GGNSL for $11.50. Very powerful in Ruby Sapphire and Ruby Amethyst. Cold foils are like 20 bucks. JKim MTG for $19.14. Fishbone Quill in those two Sapphire decks I just mentioned, extremely important. If you can get this off the field as soon as they play it, you're probably going to be a couple steps ahead of the game. So I like cards like Benja right now. I like cards like Wildcat that remove items. So Fishbone Quill, food for thought, very important in the Sapphire decks, almost like they rely on it very heavily. No wonder it's a $6.99 rare now by Matt's Card Store. It's almost $10. It's like $7. You know, cold foils are $13. Also, lowest verified by Matt's Card Store. Fishbone Quill. Madam M Fox, very important in the Ruby Amethyst deck. A lot of people still playing Ruby Amethyst. Cold foils have been shooting up. Non-foils are $6.20 for the lowest verified. Cold foils, there's only 12 listings left, and you have to pay $18.88 by Top Deck Keep. Lowest verified for the cold foil Madam M Fox. Wow, this card is now almost a $20 rare for the cold foil. Actually makes sense, right? This card is just extremely powerful. Same thing with like Hiram Flavorsham. This card as a cold foil is also almost $20. Lowest verified is Matt's Card Store for $14.99, and next Yu-Gi-Oh! Card CCG also has it for $14.99. But there's only 4 listings, so right after that it goes to $18.99, then $25.98 by an unverified seller. So there's only 14 listings for the cold foil Hiram Flavorshams, and they're as low as $15. I'm just throwing this out there. You know, once these go away, how what's gonna happen with the Hiram Flavorsham, the cold foils? I'm very curious. We have Curse the Merfolk. This cold foil is selling for around $3.75 with $1.22 shipping. It's about a $5 cold foil rare. That's always cool to see. Some good quality cards right there. Curse the Merfolk being used in a lot of Emerald discard decks or Emerald Amethyst, Emerald Steel. And then along came Zeus to help you out in those Steel matchups. I think this card is pretty cheap, honestly, for how impactful it is in the meta. There's a couple Steel decks that heavily rely on this card, especially to get rid of locations. So the fact that it's still only like $5 for the cold foil, with a little bit more shipping, like $6 total, is pretty good to me as a price wise, because I love this card in Amber Steel. I think this card's super important in Emerald Steel. In Amethyst Steel, you're probably playing multiples of these, so this card's like, this is so cheap. This card's super cheap. Let It Go was seen in the first place list of that 10K tournament, that 300 player Pixelborn tournament. First place Ruby Sapphire was playing 3 Let It Go. We will go over the deck list in a different video, so look out for that. But yeah, so I think Let It Go is going to see a lot more sales movement because of this once people start actually net decking and buying the cards from that list. So cold foils are still only $8 going lowest verified by Unique Emporium, and the non-foils, they are as low as $3 today by Darkwater Games. They were even less though. They were selling for around like $162, $235, and a little bit less than $3 at one point, and I feel like they've been going up ever since that win happened for that deck. Maleficent, Biding Your Time, also another expensive rare from the first chapter, picking back up in price just a little bit, almost $6 again by below retail for the foils, and if you want some cold foil Maleficents for your aggro deck, you can buy them for $8.24 by Shazix. Lowest verified for the cold foils there. And next up, we have, who is this? Pride Lands. We got Pride Lands up. The reason I'm talking about this card is because people definitely use this in Amber Steel right now. The price has been going up a little bit for the cold foils. We mentioned that in the last market watch. Lowest verified for the cold foil today is going to be by JDHT Cards. $3.22 with $1.22 shipping for your cold foil Pride Lands, about $4 for a cold foil Pride Lands. And yeah, you're gonna see this at your set championships for sure. If you see an Amber Steel player play Simba on their turn 1, you know they're playing the Pride Lands deck. It's basically a whole new world deck. It uses Pride Lands though to rack in some lore, and eventually you can use your Simbas, your Benjas, or your Sad Beasts to move Pride Lands to the location, and then they benefit off of that extra effect to lower the cost of your characters from your hand. But usually what they want to do is they'll move their characters for the extra ability to gain willpower, and then they'll add extra damage to their characters that normally wouldn't be there, so they can use Rapunzel a lot easier. So try not to play into Rapunzel while this card is on the field. Very powerful card. So next up, friends, on the other side, this cold foil is pretty cheap in my opinion. Lowest verified is Matt's Card Store for $1.99 with $1.22 shipping. After that though, it starts to get close to $5 by Swamp Games. So I really like this card. I think that's a really cheap price for this cold foil. I think it's like a staple in Ruby Amethyst. And speaking of Amethyst, Elsa, finally, the Enchanted Rare. Let's talk about Elsa, Spirit of Winter. The Enchanted Rare selling today for $1,434.99 for a light played, by the way. That's not even for a near mint. Look, we have an apparent sale for $990 for an Elsa near mint enchanted on TCG Player. So if somebody actually bought that, wow, that's a come up. Next up, we have a sale happening over the weekend. This was another light plate selling for $1,298, and then the one happened today for $1,400 for the light plate. Yeah, before that though, we saw all these from the 11 selling for around $1,300, and they haven't really been selling. Last time we looked at this, I think I had 22 listings if I'm not mistaken, and today we're seeing 28 listings now. So people aren't really buying it for less, but there's a lot more listings available. It's going to be $1,696 with 78 cents right here by Zexion Cards. Lowest verified, $1.22 shipping for the Enchanted Elsa, Spirit of Winter. But remember guys, we've been hearing the rumors about the reprints, and I'm not trying to spread rumors or fake news or any false reports or nothing, but the rumors seem to be, pretty out there. And I think it's just a good thing to remember that they can reprint the first chapter, and they said that they would probably say when they stop reprinting it, right? So look at this flat line right here. This has just been waiting for some movement because people are not budging with this card, at least not on TCG Player. So if you're getting this card for cheaper than the lowest listed price right here, around $1,500, it's still at $1,300 mark, let us know in the comments. I want to see what you're buying your cards at, especially some of these other enchanted rares like this next Princess Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, still keeping a pretty nice price though. Lowest verified for a near mint is still $634. There's only 14 listings left, so this is a $600 enchanted rare. No sales though. No sales since the 11th. See, this is what happens when we see a lot of sales movement at once. We get like a dry spell. We just get people waiting for a price they can afford, basically. So I think this price is a little high for some people, and they just don't want to pay $600+. So I would still, value my. I'm gonna say $600 for my Cindy until I see somebody buy it for less than that. So because the recent comps are $555 and $675 and $500. So you can say $500 if you want to get rid of it for that price. If you're that quick about it. But I'm gonna hold on to my Cindy's the way I wish I would have held on to my Surfer Stitches, because these cards seem to be having some nice collector value in the long run. $544, lowest verified by Card Crack for the Carefree Surfer Enchanted Stitch. We do have some sales for this guy actually over the weekend. Somebody did buy one for $479, almost $500, and on the 13th, a couple more sales, $525. $425 right there as well. This one, yeah, very minor dent in top, how it came when I bought it. Okay, so major plate apparently, but check that out, $425 for the Carefree Surfer Stitch. And yeah, so it's about a $500 enchanted rare. That's kind of nice if you do want to go buy verified, more than $500, but I'm sure you can find it for a little bit less as well online and in person. Bell, strange but special. Check this out. We have a heavily played enchanted. Please let me know how that happened, Mr. Enchanted TCG. You have no sales and you're first sale is a damaged enchanted rare. I am a little concerned. How damaged is it? I don't know if I'd pay 300 because the lowest verified for a near mint is $525 by LLC Trinity Games. Check that out for a near mint. That is going to be the lowest verified. After that, they start to hit 550, 570. There's 17 listings. There's still a lot of listings for this card, but they're listed pretty high once you get to the next page. But we don't have any sales happening since that Friday of $450. So the most recent comp is around 450. We got Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. We have some light plates here listed for around that $350 to $400 mark. If you want a near mint though, you're gonna have to pay $420.69. Shout out Unique Emporium for this awesome low price. Check that out, $420.69. $420.69 for this Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. Love to see it. We have a recent sale actually for $370 over the weekend, but that was the most recent sale since the 12th, which was on Friday when we looked at it. So I want to say $370 to $400 is what this card's being valued at. Lowest verified though being at that. Wow, look at, actually there's three of you goons. There's three goons that have it at $420.69. Very original, very original joke. Maui, hero to all. The alternate art is going to be listed lowest verified at $350 right here. That's pretty crazy. And like I was talking about earlier in other market watches, Maui's just a crazy card. It's such a good card, this format. I think it's so impactful in the meta, and I think like as a player / collector, I want one of these because of how good it is in the first chapter, the second chapter, the Inklands, you know what I mean? So I think that this is one that I should have had it or kept in my arsenal because it has like some nostalgia to me now. But like I'm saying, this Enchanted Rare, it's a very powerful. The card in general is really good. No wonder we've been seeing some sales movement on the Maui. 350 today for an Enchanted Maui, 348 for an Enchanted Maui selling yesterday as well. Lowest verified 350 like I just said. So it's about a 350 Enchanted Rare now. Wish I would have kept mine. Chernabog also going up in price. This dude is going to be more than $200 now. He was selling for a lot less a couple weeks ago. 140, 135, 119, 112, 117. Check that out. Almost $115 for the Chernabog. As of today though, lowest verified is now $221.99. This dude is now a 200 plus Enchanted Rare. Inklands might be going up in price just a little bit. Scrooge McDuck also going up in price into the Inklands. He's now lowest verified for a near mint, $191.99. It's looking like these finally like had a bottom and they're bouncing back up because they were selling for $90 for a damaged, $130, $139, $145 for the Scrooge McDuck. But over the weekend, we're seeing sales at $190, $185, etc. This Scrooge McDuck going up in price alongside the Enchanted Mickey Mouse Trumpeteer as well from the Into the Inklands. So if you've been holding on to some of these Inklands Enchanted Rares or collecting them, they're going up in price. Look at that. Inklands Enchanted Mickey, 168 is the lowest verified now. We're selling for around $100, 114, 105, 111, 120, and today we have sales for 142, 145, 130 yesterday. And like I just said, lowest verified is now 168, almost $200 for the Mickey Mouse Enchanted Rares. A lot of the Enchanted Rares are going up. We've been seeing this from the first chapter, the second chapter. Now we're seeing it in Inklands, and you know, it's just a trend. The only Enchanted I don't see going up lately is just Pete. Big Peter over here, the bad guy. He has just been sitting at $87, $85 for the longest time. Nothing special with Pete. Look at that, literally flatlining. But if all the other Enchanteds are going up, I don't know. Maybe Pete might follow along. Maybe he might follow the trends of all these other nice and all these other nice enchanted graphs that we're seeing just shoot up lately. So, you know, food for thought there. I wonder what's gonna happen with Pete. I will keep up with this Pete watch, so stay tuned for the next videos. But until then, my goons, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons. I do want to say good luck if you are playing these set championships this week. We will come back on Friday to check out the price for this Rockstar Stitch and the championship mats that you get for top 4 and top 2. Super excited to see that. Can't wait to see all the decks that are going to be winning these events. I'm going to play as well. Wish me luck in these tournaments. You guys, good luck. Have fun. Bless your pools. May all your opponents draw really bad, and may you guys have some awesome plays and some awesome games. We will see you goons next time.